everyone. We are super excited to be at the InCyber Forum Canada 2024. And today I'm with Jean Le Bouthillier, who's the CEO of QOHASH. QOHASH is a Canadian leader in data security, specializing in advanced solutions for data visibility, right?
That's correct.
Control and loss prevention. Um, Anyways, we love QOHASH here. We're really encouraged by everything they do and what they bring to the table when it comes to cybersecurity. So welcome, Jean, and thank you for accepting this invitation.
Thank you, Makeda. And what a great conference. It's really busy and we've had a blast so far. Thank you for having us. I think it's the third year now that we're attending, and we've been at Lille as well, which was fantastic.
That's great. We're very happy too. So I have a few questions for you today.
Sure.
Obviously, the theme this year is cybersecurity at the age of AI. So my questions are mainly going to be related to AI.
Love it.
But for example, like with my first question would be, with AI evolving at such a rapid pace, sorry, I'm losing my word already. How do you see its role in reshaping the cybersecurity landscape, especially when it comes to data security?
You know, it's really exciting. Obviously, we're watching the trends, in particular with large language models. I would say every 6 months, like clockwork, all the models are getting twice as smart, twice as fast, cheaper. And
Mhm.
so it's really a ballistic type of trend that's probably going to continue for a while. When it comes to data, and in particular, what we're specialized in at QOHASH is unstructured data, files, and circulation. What we're seeing is that suddenly these new systems, for example, Microsoft Copilot for M365 or any new machine or new Gen AI system that's accessing data, is making obvious previous problems. For instance, in most organizations, employees that had access to shared drives or things like that weren't spending all day perusing around to see, oh, what do I have access to? Now, these machines, these systems, they're using each employee's credentials and they're going to leave no stone unturned. They
Mhm.
find everything. And it's putting into light all the oversharing and the risks that were there. And it's causing a lot of organization to pause, to say, hey, wait a minute, I could have huge efficiencies with these platforms, but what about the security of data and this huge quantity of data that is now being put to the forefront? And we're very close to Microsoft. They shared a lot of examples, you know, doing pilot deployments about companies where employees would find salary lists and things like that
Mhm.
that were previously available, but nobody knew they were accessible. So it's a very exciting time, and I think it will force the whole market and many organizations to elevate their data security. And I would go as far to say data security is a baseline requirement for successful Gen AI deployment.
Hmm. Yeah, given that AI can both amplify and improve defenses, how is Coach leveraging AI to enhance data security for its clients?
We see a couple of main use cases. Obviously, there's a lot of companies out there that will do what I call fake uses of AI. They'll do their little OpenAI API call. You know, everyone will do that, and we're already doing that as well for documentation. We have chatbots over top the platform. Where we think there are more seminal 10x type of uses, because we want to use AI to not bring incremental benefits, but 10x type of performance to our customers, are how can we use these systems to start to analyze existing data and be predictive of certain issues. For instance, maybe we could use generative AI to onboard a customer and understand their risk landscape better. What are the things that they're concerned about? And that would program our system to detect these things amongst the petabytes, the wealth of data that we have. So that's one we're actively working on, all the way to, you know, designing an AI risk analyst at some point. That's our vision, where eventually you won't have to spend too much time in traditional graphical user interface to program alerts and rules. You'll be able to interact with the system in a way that's far more dynamic. and you'll be able to ask things of the system where it will know how to query our database. It will know the general uh, tenets and aspects of risk that it should be concerned about and return to you a far more effective answer in a shorter amount of time. So, in summary, it will reduce the time to value. It will make it easier to access the information in a timely manner. And that's where we're going, QOHASH, really thinking hard about what are the highly valuable 10x use cases. There's others, but that's one example.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Um, Data loss is a top concern in today's digital first organizations. Um, how do you ensure that AI enhanced systems don't compromise data integrity or expose sensitive information?
It starts with obviously having the right governance. What are the rules? What data should and shouldn't go inside these systems? And then it's all about control. Do you have visibility and control over what data goes inside these systems? At QOHASH, we're really aiming to be the best solution for tracking files. So we're helping customers to identify overshared files, files that are all over the place and should really be removed, or at least reduce the access to these files. And what we've seen, and I could have a graph like time and time again, companies that are now seriously deploying these systems will do a major cleanup and get rid of the large historical quantity of sensitive data. That's step one. Thereafter, it's more of a data security posture management. Once we've eliminated the vast quantities, on an ongoing basis, what's going to be going inside these systems and how can we ensure that we're not putting the crown jewels or the sensitive data inside. It's an emerging space. I think many organizations are trying different ways. At the end of the day, it's always people that will put data in the wrong place. So a lot of it has to do with the culture and the training as well.
Yeah, that's good to highlight that. Um, with increasing data privacy regulations worldwide right now, how does QOHASH help clients ensure compliance while embracing the power of AI?
Regulations suck. Nobody has their core business, around regulations. Everybody's doing it because they're forced to do it.
Yeah.
They're compelled to do it. So where we're helping is with automating the discovery of sensitive data elements that are subject to regulations. And one thing we do that's unique at QOHASH is we do granular data tracking. We're tracking the specific data elements, whether it's a normative type like a passport number, a credit card, across the organization, and we can tie that back to the data subject. So if we're dealing with GDPR style regulation, we can find all the PII. If we're dealing with PCI type of regulation, we can find the payment card information. Another huge emerging area that I see today is CMMC 2.0. We can help with control data, IP, things of that nature. So we really help clients in automating these things. The two keywords are we give you visibility, 24/7 visibility, and we provide control. Once we find the data, you can use our tools to move the data, encrypt the data, basically do something about it, whether it's manually or through an automation workflow.
Okay. And as we look ahead, what trends do you think will define the cybersecurity industry's approach to data security in the age of AI? Well, you talked about it a little bit
Yep.
before, yeah, but
A couple trends. Obviously, with Gen AI, the cost of generating new data is dramatically reduced. So there'll be an explosion of new data, which will compound existing problems with data discovery in all formats. There will also be a massive reduction in the cost of creating a line of code. Before September 12th, taking OpenAI as an example, GPT-4, GPT-4o could only beat maybe 5 to 10% of the best developers at elite coding challenges. Now with the O1 model and other derivatives, it's maybe in the 80% or more range. So that means a lot of startups, companies are going to have an ability to generate code. It also means that large organization can now internalize the development of tools. So I think in cybersecurity, We're going to contend with far more data created by Gen AI, but we'll also contend with probably a reduction for the need of so many SaaS solutions. We're going to see consolidation, whether it's large existing platforms that are going to add AI, making the systems more dynamic, flexible, or organization developing their own in-house solution that are standardized, tailored exactly for what they need instead of relying on a SaaS. And there's a lot of conversation around that. People say, is it the death of SaaS? Is it a peril for SaaS? So these are some trends to watch for. There's always the cliche, people say the attackers are using AI, we need to use it. All that stuff obviously is going to happen, but I'm more interested in how the market's going to move along these trends I've
Yeah,
mentioned.
that makes sense. Um, AI and data security solutions can be resource intensive. How is QOHASH making advanced data protection accessible for businesses of all sizes?
We're actually not making it accessible for businesses of all sizes.
Okay.
We focus on organizations with 1,000 employees or more. That's sort of a threshold for us because we found often if you go in smaller organizations, they're not as mature.
Yeah.
They may still be investing in more mundane aspects of cybersecurity. They're getting a password manager, an MFA, they're getting an ADR, etc. When we start to go in this, for us, ideal customer profile range, 1,000 employees or more, then they have the maturity. They have a need to actually track their data. There's enough employees that it's
Yeah.
actually a challenge. And our company started with large enterprise customers. Our first customer was a 50,000 employee bank. So it's also a challenge for us to take these products today that are very mature for large enterprise, financial sector focus, bring them to smaller organizations. They would ask for additional features, things that are not necessarily a requirement for larger organizations. So that's one thing we're doing, and our focus and our strategies to always have our tools as easy and quick to deploy as possible. And we have great testimonials in that space. I always meet a lot of clients that are cynics. All the vendors say that. We actually have the references to back it up. And then how can we make it actionable? Nobody wants to deal with data security. It's not their core business. We're really trying at QOHASH to make the pain go away with files, which is a tough area. So we're the best solution for files in circulation across risky data sources.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
We
Makeda.
wish you a lot of success.
Thanks.
And we're really glad to have you again here this year, hopefully next year. That was Jean Le Bouthillier with me, the CEO of QOHASH, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.